Hey guys, I'm doing another Terran Vs Zerg video here for the Starcraft 2 beta, and the reason I'm doing a second one is just because the first one I showed on Steps of War was just such a quick game with a rush. It didn't really show how you can play if that didn't work out at the start. So I picked Desert Oasis because it takes it's a pretty long path to get to the other team's base. So this game, that rush strategy I showed won't quite work just because you can't reinforce your army nearly as quickly as you can on steps. So I'm still going to do the same basic bio build, and by that I mean Marines, Marauders, and back them up with medvacs as soon as I can. In my other games I didn't really show that off too much, but I've really come to learn just how powerful that is, and I really enjoy that build. I think it's probably the strongest build for Terran at this point. So you guys are going to see that, and again this is against an insane AI, and it's going to be Zerg, so I don't even have to scout to know that. But I will scout them out just to see how far along they are with things like the Roach Warren, or if they're getting a Baneling's Nest. Usually they don't go for Banelings unless they scout your base and see that you've got multiple barracks. I don't know if that's true actually. It might just be if you have a certain amount of barracks, then that's what they do. They just automatically build a Baneling nest, which I think is more likely. As you can see, I'm using my barracks again to wall off that one choke. And the kind of nice thing about this map is there's no back door, like they have to come up that ramp. One thing I would like to see more actually is maps like Lost Temple, which I'll show in my first Protoss video. I've decided that they have, one of these ramps obviously, but they have a more narrow choke, so you can really play Terran a lot better in a map like that, because obviously one of the big advantages with Terran is those supply depot walls that you can raise and lower. So I'd like to see more of those, and actually I think Blizzard addressed that, and they said they're going to make more maps that have the same kind of build as Lost Temple with a narrow choke. And it's just because people were complaining about that, like a lot of these maps, there's a back door to your base, and kind of gimmicky stuff like that. So, if you like those maps, that's fine, but if not, then it means new maps. So they're working on that, and I'm assuming we'll see those before the end of this beta. We'll get to be able to try those out. Hopefully by then I'll have a key, so I can play some online, but for now, I'm having fun with the offline nonetheless. So I'm sending my SCB to scout now, because I'm curious to see just how far along the Zerg player is, because obviously they do rush fast with that mineral bonus, as any human player would if they were getting twice the minerals as their opponent. And orbital command's almost up, and once that's done, I'll just drop the mule right away. Yep, mule's down. You see I already got the tech lab. It's because I want to grab Marauders, because I'm sure I've already mentioned this. Oh, there goes my CV. But the AI does like to go roaches, and Marauders pretty much just destroy roaches. Just destroy them. They get the extra damage bonus versus armored, and they slow them, and they're already slow enough as it is when they're off creep. So, as soon as they get hit by one Marauder, they're pretty much done. So I'm getting my tri-racks up already for that bio build. You obviously want as many as you can, just so you can constantly be pumping out units. I will expand in this one later on, that's the plan at least. Obviously I didn't expand in the last one, but you want a steady enough income that you can just keep streaming out units. Obviously it is difficult to reinforce them, so you have to move across the map a little slower. obviously if you think you don't have enough to go in, then play it safe, because you don't want to get caught in the other team's base and lose your whole army. That would be definitely not good. You definitely want to mix in a lot of Marines and a lot of Marauders here. You don't just want to mass up on Marauders, or else mass Zerglings will eat you up eventually. I'm just putting that supply depot down there just so I can kind of... Oh, well, you can see in the top right, here comes the Zerg. But that bottom supply depot is just for scouting purposes. And it's actually good against a human player too, because sometimes they try and backdoor you with Reapers or something like that. And that early warning system is definitely helpful. As you can see, they've got a lot of Zerglings, but they can't all hit my supply depots at once, so it kind of gives me an advantage here. Should have been a little bit quicker on getting that SCV over there to help defend against it, because now you can see I'm kind of in trouble, because we got too many Marauders, not enough Marines. This could be bad. Okay, well they're backing off, luckily. I would have been able to reinforce that anyways, so I would have been fine nonetheless, but it's definitely not a position I wanted to be in. It's nice that sometimes the AI just backs off. Definitely not going to complain about that. So I got 2 barracks with tech labs and 1 with reactor. And I'm just going to wait for my scan sweep to come up because my SCV didn't quite get into their base. Okay, so Roach Warren is on the way, but other than that, not really a whole lot going on there. So I really just have to watch for Zergling Rush, and that's about it. I got my SCV in there, just gonna finish out this one.